So guys, the crypto markets are pumping right now as we speak. We have some key events happening this week with the Fed right before the huge meeting that's going to be, determining rate cuts and a few other different things. On top of that, we have crypto analysts and traders giving different perspectives. Some people are skeptical based off of the price regions that we're currently seeing. Others are quite bullish based off of exactly, indicators like Bitcoin dominance, USDT, and a few others. So I want to give you guys the news events moving into next week, if altcoins are going to be dumping or if they're going to be pumping, if you should be buying, and what you need to be aware of. But if you're new to my channel, go and check out the rest of my content. I keep you guys updated on the day-to-day events, price action on Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and overall just how to position yourself. Whenever we saw the dumps happening with Trump and Elon, and also whenever we had some data come out around inflation and the jobless reports, a lot of different stuff was coming out last week, guys, and that's why you need to be keeping up with all this information. And this week we have some key events going to be happening. A lot of people have different sentiment, and this is where you need to understand all this stuff so that you can position yourself correctly. But with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So guys, like how I said, the crypto markets are currently pumping as we speak. I woke up and I saw that Bitcoin had broke around 104,000. We're currently sitting at around 106,000, still rallying, especially with the news events that are happening this week. A lot of people are anticipating a lot of volatility. Ethereum right now, guys, is seeing that little bit of recovery as well. Right now, still trading sideways, but kind of seeing a little bit of lag compared to Bitcoin. But Bitcoin's Bitcoin. So at the end of the day, we're looking at altcoins seeing the same price action as Ethereum. Once Ethereum starts to make a big move, altcoins are going to start moving as well. Now, there is one-off cases. Some coins are still moving quite significantly, but others are kind of, little stationary right now, and it's just waiting for Ethereum to make that next big move. Now, Bitcoin dominance is showing and pointing to the fact that we're probably going to be reclaiming that 65 to 66% zone quite soon. Right now, everything has been on a gradual increase, showing that investors are, reallocating to Bitcoin, just based off of the skepticism that's been going on in the markets and the economy and everything like that. USDT, though, you can see is having a little bit of a crash down, which is showing that crypto investors are slowly allocating their assets back into Bitcoin, and Ethereum and stables are slowly starting to drop. Is this going to be the continuation of the drop for stables? And honestly, quite looks like it, but at the end of the day, this is where we need to keep up to date with everything that's going on, and if we're going to be seeing more deviations or rip-ups. Now, key events happening this week, guys. I let you guys know all of this stuff on Sunday, so you can be, prepared for this whenever all this data comes out. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, because this really gives you really important information. Now, key events happening this week. We have the Atlanta Fed GDP Now data on Monday. We have the May CPI inflation data on Wednesday, which is going to be really big. The 10-year note auction on Wednesday. The May PPI inflation data on Thursday, which is also really big. And then the Michigan inflation expectations data on Friday, and the Michigan consumer sentiment data on Friday. But the biggest thing to note right here, guys, is this marks the last week of inflation data before the Fed meeting. So based off of the information that we're going to be getting this week is really going to be letting us know if we're going to be potentially seeing Fed cuts. We saw Trump calling for a whole point cut. It was really crazy, talking about how Jerome Powell was about to get out of here. We're going to get someone else in. So this is really key, guys. Stay up to date with this information, and I'm going to let you know once the data comes out what you need to know. Now, Justin Bennett talks about exactly tether dominance and how it continues to perform. And overall, right now, it seems like we could be seeing a bounce based off of the specific regions that we're seeing in imbalances. He says tether dominance continues to perform. 4.37 was the local Bitcoin top, and 5% was the local Bitcoin bottom. Call out on May 21st. Now watching for a possible sweep of 4.63% low, while Bitcoin sweeps short liquidations in the 100K region. So right now, based off of what he believes, he says we could be seeing a little bit of deviation and then a rip up, squeezing out a lot of the shorts that we're seeing around Bitcoin as well, and then move up into that 108K region. Right now we're seeing at around 106. So some people are still doubting the move of the markets, but right now a lot of people are starting to position yourself, and Justin Bennett believes that we're going to be squeezing out a lot of those shorts before we start to rip back up. So he feels quite bullish based off of what we're currently seeing. Now, Crypto Intelligence X gives us a different perspective. He says, it really looks like we're in for another summer chop. Unless we get a new shiny narrative as soon as possible that causes liquidity injections, which, we've been seeing Pump Fund talking about how they're going to drop a meme coin, and everyone's scared, saying if you have meme coins to just drop everything because Pump Fund's about to squeeze the liquidity out of everything. But overall, he goes on to say on-chain volume is very low. It's probably a good time to build new positions over the summer months, though. Happy to be wrong to see a summer pump, but it's improbable in my opinion. So he doesn't think we're going to be seeing a pump, guys, moving into the remainder of summer. But a lot of other crypto analysts and traders have different perspectives, and that's why on this channel I try to give you guys, both perspectives as to why people think we're going to be pumping and why people think we're going to be dumping. Based off of what he believes, it says on-chain volume is very low. It's probably a good time to build, just based off of exactly the price action that we're seeing. But I honestly kind of have a little bit of a different perspective based off of all the volatility and, the news events and a lot of stuff that's going to be happening with the Fed. Now, Crypto Michanel talked about exactly when altcoin season could be potentially happening, whenever Bitcoin starts to crash down. And this is just a great post talking about the previous cycles and what we saw before. So when altcoin season, one of the most asked questions is people are looking to make a large return, willing to bet everything on it. Alt season hasn't come for a long time. The question is, when will this start to appear? I think we're not too far off, and it's all about it's all psychological. First of all, the phrase alt season has a deeper meaning in the words itself. Depends on how you'd want to look at it. But if you are starting during an alt season, you've actually missed most of the potential gains, which is true. Since the start of this, guys, a lot of these assets have ripped up and returned back, and I've seen this multiple times. From the start of my journey, when I first began, I had a different crypto portfolio than what I have right now, and this is super true. It says the beginning of alt season lies in the period of 2017 when I originally started, and basically every altcoin exploded. This didn't happen in 2021, as most of the older altcoins heavily underperformed compared to the newer ones. This also didn't happen in 2025, as we've only seen a meme coin fiesta in 2024 and basically an everlasting bear market on altcoins since the end of 2021, through which the sentiment has hit rock bottom and through which the interest in altcoins and crypto have decreased substantially. This cycle has proven to be completely different than the previous cycles and has proven to be a super complex one. It's super true, guys, with all the corporations, countries, everyone putting, Bitcoin on their balance sheet. It's changing how everyone is viewing, crypto and how the cycle is even going. Exactly 4 years ago, Bitcoin printed the first real high at 65,000, and 95% of the gains in altcoins have already been established during that period. However, if we measure the returns, they are from the bottom, and that's what we classify as the bottom right now, the previous top, which is freaking crazy. And then he goes into a little bit more detailed reasons as to, the price action that we're seeing with Bitcoin, Fibonacci sequences, the Chinese renminbi, the US dollar, and a few other, contentions that just show you guys the correlation with a lot of this stuff. And it's just showing that altcoin season hasn't even happened, and a lot of assets have been, fluctuating, but we still haven't seen that huge shift, which is super, super important. I'm just going to sum it up right here. It says, to answer the question, when alt season, it says, when alt season is, for me, the period when I can scoop up altcoins that are extremely undervalued, which is right now, guys, but have strong teams that are resilient and continue to build. There are plenty out there, and these are extremely, extremely undervalued. Enjoy these types of long reads. Do me a favor and bookmark it and post it and like it. And this is so true, guys. If you guys aren't following Crypto Mitch now, go give him a like, go give him a follow. This is a great chart and a great post just showing you guys that when is altcoin season going to happen? It's more than likely going to happen when everything is super pumping and everyone's super bullish. Right now is the deviations. Right now is the choppy sideways price action. Right now is whenever assets are at still prices. But no one wants to buy right now. Everyone is super skeptical, waiting for volatility, waiting for price action to return. And as a result, people just do not know what's going to happen. And most people are going to get sidelined. And that's why people like you and me that are already invested, that already have a crypto portfolio, we just have to keep up with exactly what matters, guys, and keep moving forward and cut out all the other bullcrap. Now, CryptoCon gave us a little bit of a bullish perspective based off of Bitcoin and how it still looks like it's in May of 2017 before the entire bull run. And you can see this. I'll put an arrow right to it. Right before we saw the gradual rip up, you saw this choppy sideways price action, a little bit of a rip up, then a little bit of sideways, and then before you knew it, we ripped up like significantly. Now, is this going to look exactly like the same as the previous cycle? No, I'm pretty sure it is not, because how we discussed the 4-year cycle, how everything played out before was not the same. We didn't have countries and big companies jumping in, putting Bitcoin on their balance sheets, talking about a Bitcoin or a crypto strategic reserve. All of this stuff, guys, is completely different, which is why more than likely we're going to be seeing the return for altcoins in the next few months. But it's just a matter of time and waiting for that and being patient throughout all of that. So with all that being said, swiping everything to the side, guys, right now we have some big events happening this week that are really going to point to the fact if we're going to be seeing rate cuts from the Fed. We have a lot of different perspectives around the market if we're going to be pumping up or if we're going to be crashing down just based off of price action and how long, these people have been in the space. A lot of people are really showing that more than likely, altcoin season is going to be happening in the near future, but a lot of people just aren't aware of exactly when to position themselves and when to start allocating. And right now is the time, guys, whenever a lot of positions are down, trading sideways, haven't even seen the price action that they've truly seen. A lot of them are still down from all-time highs that we saw back at the end of 2024 in December. So this really points to the fact that liquidity still needs to move back into these altcoins. But all of the key events that are happening, Trump and Elon fighting, the trade war, price action, the Fed cuts, all this stuff is going to be super key to let you guys know when your altcoin season is going to start and when your altcoin portfolio is going to freaking blow up. And on this channel, guys, I'm going to let you know when that is happening. But if you're new to my channel, check out the rest of my content. I keep you guys updated on these day-to-day events, price action on Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and overall exactly how to position yourself. Expect volatility today, this week, guys. A lot of big events going to be happening. A lot of people think we're going to be ripping up, but after seeing a little bit of deviations first, sweeping out a lot of those lows and shorts, and then from there, seeing the gradual increase. But I'm going to keep you guys updated with the day-to-day, how everything progresses, and what you need to be aware of. I made some recent videos talking about exactly what you need to be avoiding and why people fell in crypto. Go watch that video. I also talked about some of the best altcoins to be buying right now, which you should be looking into if you want to make those crazy gains. But if you're new to the channel, drop me a comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of my perspective. Let me know what you think of the content. Let me know when you think altcoin season is going to happen. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.